as well as Facebook and
2 minutes
YouTube.
left.
All right, drivers with 3 down, 1 to go. Drivers 3 down, 1 to go. We got James out front, Mr. Alexander in the
1
2,
minute
Jack
left.
in the 3. Uh-oh, something happened to Jack's car. Mr. Alexander right there doing a double, single. Coming across that backside. Working that backside double. Rolling
45
that
seconds
outside
left.
line right there.
Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
All right, drivers, as time is about to expire, drivers, keep going. Your name is called. Done. Everyone is still alive. Keep going, drivers. Keep going. All right, drivers, keep going. Drivers, keep going. Everyone's still alive. Keep going.
James McBurnett done.
All right, James is done. Just waiting on Mr. Alexander. All right, Mr. Alexander right there coming through that rhythm section. Oh, gets crossed up. Mr. Alexander is
All drivers
done.
are
That
finished.
is your race, drivers.
Alexander Kellum done.
James taking that
The
one.
race is
Mr.
completed.
Alexander in the 2, Jack in the 3. All right, drivers, drop your cars and head back out to Marshall. Drop your cars, head back out to Marshall. Oh, I think I might have planned this one wrong. We got off-road all-wheel drives coming up next. We got our 3 kids out there marshalling. Right
Up
into the
next,
deep
race
end
number
right
2.
there. If I can get some
Off-road
volunteer
EWD.
marshals,
Heat
that'll
1
be
and
much
1. Race order
appreciated.
is Chris Shaw, Julio Abro, J Lo, Jimmy Tuto Smith, Mark Pena. Two minutes to the start of the race.
All right. Mark's
Mark Pena.
checked right there. You broke it? You broke the servo?
Chris Shaw,
You crashed it?
1 minute to the start of the race. 45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, Julio check.
Julio off-row.
Waiting on Mr. Jimmy Smith.
15 seconds to the start of the race.
My tolls are right there on my cart, man. Talking to Jordan. New transponder?
Jimmy Two-Toe Smith.
It might be on my workbench. His servo horn. No, not that one. His servo. Scott, take a look at the servo saver on that thing. The screw's backed out. No tools there? I should have 3 red handle screwdrivers right there. Where's all the red handle ones? Got it? Is that screw jacked up? All right, drivers, we're going to get this one started without Jordan. I got marshals out there. Thank you guys very much. All right, you guys ready? Who's going backwards over here? All right, drivers, bridge is hot, drivers, bridge is hot. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. Oh, Mark. Oh, man. Sorry, man. Couldn't wait. We're already behind schedule. No. Yeah. Oh, man. Jordan. All right, drivers. We got Chris out front, 21.506, 14.6 hot lap.
Four minutes left.
All right, watch the front straight. Caution, thank you. Clear. All right, drivers.
J-Lo.
What happened to Julio? There's Julio. No, not Julio. Julio, you're not counting all of a sudden. You counted 1 lap. Oh, there you counted again. Yeah, you counted that time. 1 minute and 2 seconds. All right, we got Mark Pena out there, 13 flat.
3 minutes left.
All right, we got Jordan right there putting in some laps. Hey, Jordan, that thing definitely doesn't look as good as Eric's car. Eric's car looks phenomenal. All right, we got Mark out front, 18.510.
2 minutes left.
Chris in that 2 spot, 17.502. Jordan, 14.511. Jimmy, 14.520. Julio, 9.504. Caution, caution. All right, caution front straight. Caution front straight. All right, we got Chris, Mark, Jordan, Jimmy, and Julio. That's your running order. All right, Jimmy got that thing looking pretty good right there. Oh. All right, drivers with 4 down, 1 to go. Drivers 4 down, 1 to go.
1 minute left.
We got Mark out front, Chris in the 2, Jordan in the 3, Jimmy in the 4, Julio in the 5 spot.
$45 seconds left. $30 seconds left.
All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Jimmy, and Julio. That's your running order.
15 seconds left.
All right, Mark with that hot lap, 13 flat. Chris with a 14.5. Jordan 13.3. Jimmy 14.4. Julio 14.7. All right, drivers' time has expired. Drivers, keep it smooth, keep it clean.
Mark Pena done.
All right, Mark is done. Everyone else, keep going, drivers, keep going.
Chris Shaw done. Julio Alvaro
Other
done.
side, other side.
J-Lo done.
All right, all waiting on Jimmy Smith. Jimmy
All drivers are
is
finished.
done. That is your race drivers.
Jimmy
Mark
Tuto's
taking
is
that
done.
one,
Race is
17.501.
completed. Up next, race number 3. Mondo Hobby. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is Julio Alvaro, Dustin Green, Mark Collins.
Quite a few. Quite a few. Fix that transponder.
Two minutes to the start of the race.
Julio, Dustin, and Mark Collins. You guys are up. I need my marshals from the last race, please. It's going to be Mark, Chris, Jordan, Jimmy, and that's going to be it. Mark, Chris, Jordan, and Jimmy. Marshals, please. What else was broken? Too many nose dives. All right,
1 minute to
Julio,
start the
Dustin, and
race.
Mark Collins. Hey, Dustin, was that
45
you
seconds
that
to
just
start
went
of the
across the
race.
line?
Mark Collins. Dustin Green.
All right, waiting on Julio. Oh, Julio's back to back right there.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, Dustin, what's your son's name? Davidson? Jameson? Jameson. I'm going to need you to marshal.
15 seconds to the start
You
of the
want to
race.
marshal? You're number 1? All right. All right, Julio. All right, we got them all checked in. You guys all ready? All right, drivers. Oh.
Julio Abro.
All right, drivers. Bridge is hot. Drivers, bridge is hot. Keep it smooth. Keep it clean. Clip. All right, Julio, Mark, and Dustin. That's your running order. We got Mark Collins right there out front, 15.505. Julio, 15.509. All right,
4
here
minutes
comes
left.
Mark Collins right there working that whoop section up under the bridge. Now Mark out front. Julio in the 2, Dustin in the 3 spot. Yes. All right, Mark, Julio, and Dustin, that's your running order. All right, drivers, with 3:15 left on the clock. Drivers, Mark Collins, 17.509.
Three minutes left.
All right, Julio right there working his way through. How come you're in this class, Julio? You should be in the brush class. Huh? No, these are all brushless cars. All right, so we got Mark, Julio, and Dustin. All right, Mark Collins right there working that backside double. Thing's really bouncy in the front, Mark. I think it's really bouncy in the front, no? They're like Pac-Mans out of those corners. All right, Mark, Julio, and Dustin, that's the running order.
2 minutes left.
All right, your race leader right there, Mark out front, Julio in the 2, Dustin in the 3. All right, drivers, we're going to have a very short break in between these qualifying rounds to get us back on schedule. All right, we got Mark, Julio, and Dustin. That's your running order. All right, your race leader right there, Mark Collins.
1 minute left.
All right, Jarvis, 4 down, 1 to go. Mark out front, hot lap 15.5. Julio in that 2 spot with a 16 flat. Dustin with a 19.2.
45
Dustin right there
seconds
putting
left.
it through the paces. He's got that that black and gray right there. Oh, Dustin off the track. We got Mark out front, Julio in the 2,
30
Dustin
seconds
in that
left.
number 3 spot. Oh, Julio rolls it.
Fifteen seconds left.
All right, drivers, less than 15 seconds on the clock. Drivers, keep it smooth, keep it clean. Keep going. Your name is called done. Everyone is still live, even after the tone.
Mark Collins done.
All right, Mark Collins done.
Julio Opera
Julio's done. Just waiting on Dustin Green right there. Oh, Dustin rolls it at King Kong. All right, and Dustin
drivers are
is
finished.
done. That is your race
Dustin Green
drivers.
done.
Mark
The race
Collins
is
setting that
completed.
provisional TQ 17,501. All right, up next, Modified Mojave Heat 2 of 2. You guys are up next.
Up next, race number 4. Mojave. Heat 2 of 2.
All right,
Race
Mark,
order is
Julio, and Dustin,
Chris Shaw,
please drop your cars
Jimmy
and head back
Smith,
out to
Triple
Marshall.
Crown Hitmaster. Kellum. Kellum. Two minutes to the start of the race.
All right,
Chris Shaw.
Chris, Jimmy, Jake, and Scott Kellum.
Triple
All right,
Crown
let's see, we got
Hitmaster.
Jake check, we got Chris check. Just waiting on Two Toes, Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Two-Toe Smith. 1 minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, drivers, we got them all
15
checked in. I got
seconds
my
to start the race.
marshals. All right, drivers, Bridges hot, drivers. Bridges hot. All right, Scott, Jimmy, Chris, and Jake. All
4
right,
minutes
Scott,
left.
Jake, Jimmy, and Chris. He'll be in the next round. All right, drivers out front. I got Scott Callum, 17.5 flat. Jake,
3 minutes
17.505.
left.
Hot lap for Scott Callum, 15.1. All right, Scott with that hot lap that last time by. 14.3. All right, Scott, Jake, Jimmy, and Chris, that's your running order. All right, Scott, 19.515.
2 minutes left.
All right, caution, caution. Oh, Scott coming up a little long there. Got a little bit tangled up. Oh, Marshall, King Kong. All right, Scott, Jake, Jimmy, and Chris, that's your running order. All right, we got Jake upside down right there.
One minute left. Forty-five seconds left.
All right, so we got Scott Callum, 18.504 pace. Jimmy on a 16, Jake on a 16, Chris on a 14.
30 seconds left. Fifteen seconds left. done.
All right, drivers, as time has expired, Scott Kellum gets caught at the line, 18-5 flat. Everyone else is still
Jimmy
alive.
Smith
Keep
done.
going. Jimmy Smith done. Everyone else keep going, drivers. Keep going.
Chris Shaw done. All
Chris
drivers
is
are
done.
finished.
Jake is done. That is your
Triple
race
Crown International
drivers.
done.
Kellum
Race
taking that
completed.
one, 18-5 flat. All right, drivers. Future champs, make sure you guys' cars are ready. We're going to have a very short break after this race while I reshuffle. Then future champs will be straight up.
Up next, race number 5. Box Stock Mojave. Heat 1 at 1. Race order is Carl Burnett, Mark Pena, Larry
good.
Patterson, Racer X.
Yeah. Julio, do you want to race in the brush class? If you want to, do you have a battery?
2 minutes to
I
start
can
the
put
race.
you in this class if
Racer
you want to
X.
race this one. Or do you want to stay in brushless? Yeah. All right, guys, I need my marshals, Scott, Jimmy, Jake, and Chris. Marshals, please.
Mark Pena. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race. Carl Burnett, Larry Patterson. Julio Abro.
All right, drivers, all right. We got them all in. We got my marshals. All right, drivers. Bridge is hot, drivers. Bridge is hot. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. Scott Kellum. Marshal, please. All right, we got Mark, Tony, Carl, Larry, and Julio. Julio jumping into the brush class right there with his brushed Mojave.
4 minutes left.
All right, Tony, Carl, Julio, Larry, and Mark. The best.
Three minutes left.
All right, Tony out front, 17.503. Julio, 16.518. Hot lap from Tony. Tony, you know this is a brush class, right? All right, Tony out front, 15.1 hot lap.
Oh yeah, you told me that you can't triple it with a box stock Mojave, and that's what I do. Triple it.
With a box stock Mojave?
Yeah.
Whose? Mark's?
Yeah.
That's brushless. All right, Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order. Oh, we got Larry. Oh, that wasn't Larry. That was Julio.
2
We got
minutes
Tony
left.
out front, 17.508. 15.1 hot lap. Julio with a 15.5.
I tripled it with my stock. So I keep,
No, you didn't.
yeah, once.
No, you.
I hit the mirror at the red line.
Oh. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Oh, man. Julio, you break it, you bought it. All right, caution, caution. All right, Julio, Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order. Tony on a 17.504, Julio's 15.503, Carl on 55.08, Mark 15.520, and Larry with a 14.501. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
1 minute left.
All right, caution in the middle, drivers. Caution, caution in the middle. Look ahead, drivers, look ahead. Keep an eye out for the marshals.
Forty-five seconds left.
All right, drivers, listen, 45 on the clock, drivers. Your race leader, Tony out front, Julio in the 2, Carl in the 3, Mark in the 4, Larry in that number 5 spot.
Thirty seconds left.
Tony, Julio, Carl, Mark, and Larry. That's your running order. With 20 seconds left, drivers. Tony with that hot lap,
15 seconds
14.6.
left.
All right, drivers, time has expired. Drivers, keep going. Your name is called done. Everyone is still live.
Rchq done. Mark Pena done.
Tony's done. Mark's done.
Larry Patterson done.
Larry's done.
Carl Burnett done.
Carl's done. Waiting on you, Julio. Keep going. All right, still waiting on Julio. And Julio is done. That is your race,
All
drivers.
drivers are finished. Julio
Tony
done.
taking that one.
The race is completed.
17.503. All right, drivers. The track is open for practice while I create the next round. Then we're going to get started. Make sure those future champs are ready to go. drivers. Second. Better go get ready. See ya. All right.
Up next, race number 1. Mini
All
off-road
right,
feature
same
champions.
order
Heat
as
1. Race
before.
order is James McBurnett, Alexander Kellum, Jack McBurnett, James McBurnett.
Hey, Julio. So you're out of modified? You want to stay in brushed? Okay. Huh? Going to the party, have a real good time. All right, I'm going to move. All right. The running order is the same as before. All right, we're going to be starting off with future champs here in 2 minutes, drivers. 2 minutes. Future champs. You guys are going to be up. James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. You guys are up in 2 minutes. Yes. Okay. All right, off-road, all-wheel drives. You're going to be in race 2. It's going to be Mark, Chris, Jordan, Jimmy, Julio, and Xavier. You know, dog bone? Do we have them in stock now? We should have them in stock now.
James McBurnett.
I had. Hey, TJ, did we ever get the dog bones for the rear of the Mojaves?
Alexander Kellum.
All right, drivers, it's time to get started. Are you guys going to be able to make it, James or Jack? All right, drivers, back into DJ mode right here. All right, I'm getting ready for James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. Are you guys ready? All right, marshals. I'm going to need my marshals from Box Talk Mojave. It's going to be Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. Marshals, please. Huh?
He waits till the kid gets all the way down.
Did you do a wheelie?
Wait, is this the only thing you guys race in Mojave?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Whoa, what was that?
All right. Hold on. What do we got going on here? All right, Dustin, that was your son, right? Um, we're gonna need to make sure that he stays off the track. I don't want to get him hit by a car,
Yeah, that would be fun.
especially whenever Jordan's on track. We gotta make sure. All right, drivers. You guys ready? Mr. Alexander? All right, drivers.
Do I need a marshal?
No. All right, drivers. Bridge is hot, drivers. Bridge is hot. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. All right, we got James and Mr. Alexander. Jack out of this one. All right, drivers. We got James across the line.
3 minutes
Time to
left.
beat is going to be James's 11:408. Got Mr. Alexander right there. Double, single, single. Oh, Mr. Alexander trying to make a visit to Paul Blart there. All right, Mr. Alexander in and out of the penalty box. Right back out. Mr. Alexander across the line right there, working on 9:406. So we got James. James right there, upside down. Was on a 10-4-25. Yeah. All right, James, Alexander, and Jack. All right, Jack, that look of excitement right there.
2 minutes left.
That was unexpected.
All right, James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. That's your running order. Oh, Jack puts it in the corner right there. All right, Mr. Alexander working his way around. All right, single right there, coming up a little bit short on that double. All right, so we got James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. All right, all right, looks like James upside down right there. James right there driving that all blue. Mr. Alexander with the yellow stripes.
1 minute left. Forty-five seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Fifteen seconds left.
All right, James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. That's your running order. James on the 10-4-25. As time has expired, drivers keep going. Your name is called done. All right, James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. All right, keep going, drivers, keep going.
James Burnett done.
All right, James is done. Mr. Alexander is done. Just waiting on Jack, working his way around. Jack, go, Jack, go. Jack, you got to go across the line. And Jack is done. That is your race drivers. James taking that one, 10-4-13. All right, up next, all-wheel drives. All-wheel drives, you guys are up next.
Now watch the inside of that one. See the inside of the ring?
Tires coming off. All right, drivers, I'm going to need James, Alexander, and Jack out to Marshall. And volunteer Marshall, please. Any volunteer marshals, much appreciated.
J-Lo, Jimmy Tuto Smith, Julio Abro, Xavier Mahan. Two minutes to the start of the race. J-Lo.
Oh, whoa. All right, need Marshall right there in the middle. Caution, caution in the middle, drivers. Caution in the middle.
Chris Shaw.
Oh.
Mark Pena.
Oh, my goodness.
1 minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, waiting on Jimmy and Julio to check.
"30 seconds to the start of the race. Xavier Mahan. Julio
All right,
Alvaro.
Marshall in the front. Marshall in the front. Oh, there
Jimmy
you go.
Toe Smith. 15
All
seconds
right,
to the
George,
start
we
of
got
the
them
race.
all checked in. You guys all ready? All right, George Bridge is hot. George Bridge is hot. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. Your time will start as you come across the line. Hey, Melinda. Are you busy? Are you on the phone? You on the phone?
Four minutes left.
All right, we got Mark, Julio, Chris, Jimmy, Jordan, and Xavier. All right, Mark 21,501 right there. TQ pace coming from Mark. Mark keeping it smooth and clean.
3
Julio in
minutes
that
left.
2 spot. Chris in the 3, Jimmy in the 4, Jordan in the 5, Xavier in the 6. Caution, caution. All right, oh, we got a car upside down. Larry. Oh, Jordan upside down multiple times right there. Oh, caution on the front straight. Caution on the front straight. All right. All right, let's see your race leader right there, Mark. Working his way around Godzilla, getting tangled up right there with, I think that was Jimmy. Oh, no, that was Julio Marshall. All right, so we got Chris now moving to that 2 spot. Julio dropping to the 3. All right, Mark, Chris, Julio, Jordan, Xavier, and
2
Jimmy.
minutes left.
Oh, car upside down. Oh, Jimmy rolling it. All right, Jars with 135. Jars 135 left. Your race leader, Mark out front. Chris in the 2, Julio in the 3, Jordan in the 4, Jimmy in the 5, Xavier in the 6 spot. Coming up next, Modified Mojaves. You're up next. All right, caution on the front straight, Jars. Caution on the front straight. Oh, Mark puts it off the track.
1 minute left.
All right, Mark was on TQ pace right there. Hot lap 12.6.
45 seconds left.
Can you fix that carpet? Can you fix the carpet? Can you fix the carpet? Just pull it tight.
30 seconds left.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Xavier, Jimmy, and Julio.
15 seconds left.
All right, caution, drivers, caution in the middle. Oh, caution, caution. All right, drivers, time has expired. Drivers, keep going. Your name is called. Done. Everyone's still alive. Keep going, drivers, keep
Xavier
going.
hand done. Chris Shaw
Xavier's done. Chris is done.
Jimmy Two Toes Smith done.
Jimmy's done. Chris is done.
Mark Pena done.
All right, Mark's
Xavier
done.
done.
Jordan's done.
All
Xavier's
drivers
done.
finished.
Julio's done. That's your race
Julio done.
drivers. Mark
The race
taking
is
that one.
completed.
25-19. All right, drivers up next. Going to be Modified Mojaves. You're up next.
Up next, race number 3. Mojave. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is Triple Crown Pimp Master. Chris Shaw. Dustin Green.
Did you like how I tripled that
Hey, you did okay.
5 times?
Yeah, okay.
2 minutes to the start of the race.
All right, Jake, Chris, and Dustin. Oh, we got one dropping out. Want me to run all 6 together on this one? No, let's keep it separate because it was separate earlier. I'm running all 6 in the main, I think. Julio. He went from modified to stock because he's on brushed.
Triple Crown Pimp Master.
All right, Jake, Chris, and Dustin.
Dustin Green.
It's okay.
1 minute to the start of the race. Chris Shaw.
All right, Jarvis, we got them all checked in. We got our marshals. All right, Jarvis ready. Bridge is hot, Jarvis. Bridge is hot. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. Jake, Chris, and Dustin out on track right now. All right, Jarvis, with 420, Jarvis.
Four minutes left.
Did you kill the other side just now? All right, Chris, Jake, and Dustin. That's the running order. All right, Jake out front, 13.509. Chris, long lap right there, 40.2 seconds. All right, so we got Jake, Chris, and Dustin. That's your running order.
Three minutes left.
You still on the phone? All right, Jake, Chris, Dustin. All right, your race leader right there, Jake. Green with the black. Oh, whoa. All right, Marshall on the back.
Two minutes left.
All right, so we got Jake 16,504, Chris 14,502, Dustin 12,510. Jake with that hot lap 15,3.
One minute left. Forty-five seconds left. Thirty seconds left.
All right, Jake, Chris, Dustin. That's your running order. Jake 17,518.
15 seconds left.
Chris 14,5 flat. Dustin 12,506. All right, Jake 17,516 pace right there. As time has expired, drivers keep going. Your name is called done. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. All right, Jake coming across the line right there. Keep going, Jake. Keep going. Do not stop.
Dustin Green done.
Keep going, Jake. Dustin is done. Keep going, Chris.
Chris Shaw done.
All right, Chris
All
is
drivers
done.
are
Jake's done.
finished.
That is your race drivers.
Triple crown pit
Jake
master
taking that one. 17,
The race is
517.
completed.
All right, guys, drop your cars. Head back out to Marshall.
Up next, race number 4. Mojave. Heat 202. Race order is Kellum, Mark Collins, Jim Tuto Smith. Two minutes to the start of the race. Mark Collins. Kellum.
All right, waiting on Jimmy.
One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, just waiting on Jimmy.
15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right. Uh-oh.
Jimmy Two Smith.
You out, Mark? You need a screw. What screw? That was exactly what he meant to do. Is it going to be quick, Mark? You out? What happened? Mark? Right there, no. All right, Mark. How long? 30 seconds. Hey, Melinda, I have an idea. Huh? We need to relocate all the snacks. What? Yeah. It has the little pads on it. All right. Oh, wait on Jimmy. Waiting on Mark Collins. Then you can blame Mark Collins. All right. Don't run out of battery. Ready? All right, drivers. Where are my marshals? Oh, there you are. Bridge is hot, drivers. Bridge is hot. Oh, Scott Kelton rolls it over. Marshall in the middle. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, Scott's Grom's working really good. Oh. All right, we got Scott out front, 19,504.
Four minutes left.
All right, Kellum, Jimmy, and Mark Collins. All right, drivers, your race leader right there, Scott Kellum. That burnt orange with the black. Keeping it smooth and clean. So we got Kellum, Mark Collins, and Jimmy. That's your running order. Jimmy right there down that front side quad. Oh, gets it up on two front wheels right there.
3 minutes left.
All right, so we got Scott, Mark, and Jimmy. All right, drivers with 210 down, 250 to go. 19,503, Mark 17,509, Jimmy 16,515. All right, 230 down, 230 to go, drivers.
2 minutes left.
All right, Scott, Mark, Jimmy, that's your running order. All right, up next going to be Box Stock Mojave's up next. All right, drivers. Scott, 25-12 pace right there. Scott keeping it smooth and clean right there. That box stock, that's modified Mojave, looking really good. He has
1 minute left.
the rhythm section good too, most times.
"45 seconds left.
All right, caution, caution. Like that through the whoops. It's yeah.
30 seconds left.
All right, drivers with 25 seconds left. Drivers 25 seconds left. Callum, Mark Collins, and Jimmy. That's your running order.
15 seconds left.
All right. As time has expired, drivers keep going. Your name is called. Done.
Jimmy Two-Toe Smith done. Mark Collins done.
Like he completely clears the brown.
All drivers are finished. Callum done.
All
The race
right,
is
all
complete.
drivers done. That is your race drivers. Callum, 19.511, new TQ pace right there. Up next, Box Stock Mojaves. You guys are up next.
Up next, race number 5. Box Stock Mojave. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is Racer X, Julio Abro, Carl McBurnett, Larry Patterson, Mark Pena.
No, he does not.
Racer X.
Because your car sucks.
2 minutes to the start of the race. Mark Pena. Larry Patterson.
All right, Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your. That's gonna be who's up.
Carl McBurnett.
All right, drivers. Where's all my marshals? Scott Callum, Mark Collins, and
Julio
Jimmy
Abro.
Smith.
Scott is racing.
No, he's not.
Ah, they've done nothing. Wait, you're not running my car? I am. He sucks.
All right, marshals. Marshals.
1 minute to the start of the race.
Marshals.
Like that. And if I move it like that, it's still like that. Yeah, but this one has way more than the other.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, drivers. You guys ready? All right, drivers. Bridge is hot, drivers. Bridge is hot. Keep it smooth. Keep it clean. We already had to fix something on your car. All right, Tony, Mark, Julio, Carl, and Larry.
Four minutes left.
All right, Tony, Julio, Mark, Larry, and Carl.
Three minutes left.
All right, Julio, Tony, Mark, Larry, and Carl. All right, Tony, 17,502, 15,5. Julio, 17,508. Mark, 15,503. Larry, 14,511. Carl, 12,504.
Two
Everyone
minutes
else.
left.
All right, Julio, Tony, Larry, Mark, and Carl. How many ribs you want me to hold on to? 2 or 3?
0.
All right, Tony, Julio, Larry, Carl. Oh, Marshall in the middle. All right, Tony, 17,508. Julio, 16,508. Larry, 14,502. Mark, 14,508. Carl, 13,514. All right, Tony, Julio, Larry, Mark, and Carl.
1 minute left.
All right, Tony,
45 seconds
17,509, 15,5. Julio, 15,8.
30 seconds left.
All right, drivers, Tony, Julio, Larry, Mark, and Carl.
15 seconds left.
All right, drivers, with 10 seconds left, drivers, keep it smooth, keep it clean. All right, drivers, time has expired.
Rchq done.
Keep going, drivers, keep going.
Mark Pena done. Carl McBurnett done.
All right,
Larry
drivers.
Patterson
Tony's
done.
done. Mark's done. Carl's done. Larry's done. Waiting on Julio. Julio is done.
All drivers are finished.
That is your race drivers.
Julio Abro
Tony,
The race is completed.
17,504. All right, drivers. I'm going to set the mains. Then we're going to be getting into Future Champs. Going to be race number 1. All right, drivers. We're going to get started at 8:15. Race number 1, 8:15. Race 1 with Future Champs.
Up next, race number 1. Mini Off-Road Future Champions.
All right, drivers. Heats
May.
are posted. Drivers,
Race
heats
order
are
is
posted. We're going to be
James
starting
McBurney,
off with mini
Alexander
off-road
Jack McBurnett.
Future Champs. Then we're going to go to box stock Mojaves, which is going to be the class that just ran. And then Mod Mojave, then off-road all-wheel drive. Actually, I'm sorry. All right, drivers, heats are posted. We're going to get started at 8:15. Off-road Future Champs, then box stock Mojave, then mod Mojave, and then off-road all-wheel drive.
Jack McBurnett. James McBurnett.
Whew. All right, future champs. You guys are up, future champs. You guys are up. I need my marshals. That's going to be, whew. All right, I'm going to need. Let me get Xavier, Julio, and Jimmy.
2 minutes to the start of the race. One minute to the start of the race. Alexander Kellum. "45 seconds to the start of the race.
You need.
30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, James, Alexander, and Jack. All right. All right, let's get this show on the road. All right, drivers on pole is going to be James. In that number 2 spot, Mr. Alexander. And in that number 3 spot is going to be Jack. All right, drivers ready. Marshall's ready.
The race is starting in less than 5.
All right, James, Mr. Alexander, and Jack. James right there off to a nice clean start. Mr. Alexander getting tangled up. Jack getting tangled up as well. Your race leader right there, James out front. Mr. Alexander right there cruising by Mr. Blart. All right, James, Alexander, and Jack, that's your running order.
Four minutes left.
All right, James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander, that's your running order. All right, James out front, Jack in that 2 spot, Mr. Alexander in that number 3. All right, drivers, your race leader right there, James. That all blue car right there down that
3
front
minutes
side
left.
quad. Off that left side single. Almost getting Larry in the head right there. All right, James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander, that's your running order. All right, that's the battle right there between Jack and Mr. Alexander.
Two minutes left.
All right, James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander, that's your running order. All right, drivers, with 1:15 left, your race leader, James out front. Jack in that 2 spot, Mr. Alexander in the 3.
One minute left. "45 seconds left.
All right, James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander.
30 seconds left. "15 seconds left.
All right, James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander with less than 10 seconds on the clock. Drivers, your race leader right there, coming up across the line, coming across that front side double. Mr. Alexander
Jack
upside
McBurnett
down.
done.
Jack gets caught at the line.
Alexander Kellum done.
Mr. Alexander is done. And James, right there across the line, is done. James
drivers are
taking the
finished.
win.
James McBurnett done. The race is concluded.
Jack in that 2 spot, and Mr. Alexander in the 3. Let me get James, Jack, and Mr. Alexander to the winner's circle, please.
Up next, race number 2. Box Stockman Hobby. Amen. Race order is Racing X, Julio Abro, Carl McBurnett, Larry Patterson, Mark Pena. Two minutes to the start of the race. Julio Abro. 1 minute to the start of the race. Racer X. 45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race. Carl McBurnett. Mark Pena. Larry Patterson.
All right, Tony, Julio, Mark, Larry, and Carl. All right, you guys all ready? You guys all warmed up? Ready to go? All right, drivers on pole. It's going to be Tony Hall. I need my marshals from the last race, please, and some volunteers. That's going to be Jack, Mr. Alexander, and Jack, James, and Mr. Alexander. In that number 2 spot is going to be Julio. In the number 3 spot is going to be Carl. In the number 4 spot, Larry Patterson. And in that number 5 spot, it's going to be Mark Pena. All right, drivers, all right. You guys all ready? All right, drivers. Drivers ready. Marshals ready.
The race is starting in less than 5.
All right, Tony, what a nice clean start right there. Julio in tow. Oh, Tony getting offline. Julio taking our lead. We need Mark marshaling up right there. All right, so we got Tony back to the point right there. Julio must have got tangled up. All right, so we got Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. Oh, Larry and Carl right there coming offline right there. Caution, caution. All right, Colin almost right there. Yeah, straighten out that rumble strip, Colin. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. All right, Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order.
Four
All
minutes
right,
left.
drivers, 1 down, 4 to go. Drivers, 1 down, 4 to go. Julio, Tony, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order. All right, Julio, 17.5 flat. Tony, 17.513. Julio right there in that one spot. Oh, Julio getting tangled up with Mark. Oh, Mark. Mark having all kinds of problems. All right, that's Larry right there down the front straightaway. Oh, Larry and Carl right there racing it up with Mark. That's your 3, 4, 5. That's your final spot on the podium. Oh, we got a car upside down. 2
3
cars
minutes
upside down.
left.
Caution, caution. Oh, Colin almost taking one for the team right there. Larry working his way through. We got Julio leading it, Tony leading it out. 17.5 flat. Julio in that 2 spot. Tony right there. Oh, puts it on his side. Here comes Julio. Julio looking to make that pass. So we got Julio back to the point now. Larry over the rail. All right, that's your 1-2 battle right there, red and yellow. Tony making the pass on to Julio. Let's see if he can make it stick as he works his way through. Oh, Julio rolls it. Puts Tony firmly back to the point. Julio rolls it coming up over the sandbox. They didn't empty it? Yeah. No way. Oh, man.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, no. All right, Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order. The roller. All right, caution drivers, caution on the backside. All right, we got Tony out front, Julio in the 2, Carl in the 3, Larry in the 4, Mark in the 5. Tony right there with a 1.3 second lead over Julio. Julio putting the pressure on. Julio making up all kinds of time right there through Godzilla. Tony getting a little bit squirrely. Here comes Julio. Oh, Julio rolls it as he works his way up under the rail. 2.3 seconds now separating first and second. Tony trying to keep it smooth and clean with 1 minute left. Drivers 4 down, 1 to go. Oh, we got all kinds of trucks on its side. Oh, Tony
minute left.
rolls it over. Here comes Carl right there working his way through. Here comes Julio. Julio right now 2.8 seconds back. Tony making a small mistake, but still keeping that gap. Tony right there coming off
45
that
seconds left.
rumble strip area. All right, here comes Tony. Here comes Julio right there. Oh, looks like a pretty large gap now between Tony and Julio. Oh,
30
Tony
seconds
puts
left.
it on the side with 30 seconds left. There's 30 seconds left. Tony, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. That's your running order. All right,
15
Julio
seconds
sitting in
left.
that number 2 spot. Carl in the 3, Larry in the 4, Mark in the 5 with 10 seconds left. Tony making it by for 1 more lap. Here comes Julio. Julio coming across the line right there, making it by for 1 more lap as well. Looks like it's going to be Carl and Larry getting caught
Carl
at the
Burton done.
line.
Larry
Mark
Patterson
is
done.
out. Tony takes the
Razor X
win. And here comes Julio. Julio working his way around. Julio across the line. That is your race, drivers. Tony takes the win. Julio in the 2, Carl in the 3. I need Tony, Julio, and Carl to the winner, please.
Up next, Race number 3. Mono Hobby. Amen. Race order is Kellum, Mark Collins, Triple Crown Pit Master, Jimmy Two-Toe Smith, Chris Shaw, Dustin Green. Two minutes to the start of the race.
Did you see me moving the mouse? All right, drivers, all right. That was a good one. Drop your cars and head back out to Marshall, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. All right, so we got Scott Kellum, Mark Collins, Jake, Jimmy, Chris, and Dustin. This is going to be our Mod
Green.
Mojave class.
Triple Crown Pit Master, Kellum. Chris Shaw.
Can I help you do the same?
1 minute to the start of
Trying
the
to get
race.
through this really quickly. All right, Scott, Mark, Jake, Jimmy, Chris, and Dustin. You guys are up. I need my marshals, Julio, Carl, Larry, and Mark. Marshals, please.
Mark Collins. 45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, drivers, all right. Just waiting on Mr. Jimmy Smith. Huh?
15
Jake
seconds to the start of
requests
the
a
race.
motocross start. All right, Marshall. I need Marshall on this side over here. Julio.
Jimmy
Oh.
Two-Toe Smith.
All right. You guys all ready? You guys all checked in? You need a lap, Jimmy? You good, Jimmy? All right, drivers. All right, drivers, tracks closed, tracks closed. On pole, Scott Kellum. In that number 2 spot, it's going to be Mark Collins. And on number 3 spot, it's going to be Jake Maloney. In that number 4 spot, Jimmy Smith. And in the number 5 spot, Chris Shaw. And in that number 6 spot, it's going to be Dustin Green. All right. I need a couple of volunteer marshals. That sounds like a good job for Jordan and Mason. I need some volunteer marshals, please. Zane? Zane's half asleep all the time. Right here. Over here. We got one over there. Perfect. That's good. We're good. All right, drivers. Drivers ready. Marshals ready.
The race is starting in less than 5.
All right, nice clean start right there. Scott Kellum. Oh, tries to make that quad. Comes up a little bit short. Drops down to that number 5 spot overall. 4 spot overall. So we got Jake out front. We got Mark and Jimmy. Oh, Jake rolls it onto his roof right there. He rode a 0 right there from that green and black truck. Scott Kellum now working his way up. Who we got in the lead? Looks like it's going to be Mark Collins in that number 1 spot. Scott Kellum carrying all that speed through the whoop section. All right, marshals, keep an eye out. There are cars coming at you. All right, so we got Scott Kellum rolling it. Oh, we got all kinds of trucks rolling over right there. That's going to put Jimmy Smith now to the point. Jake to the 2. Kellum to the 3. Collins to the 4.
4 minutes left.
Oh, Jimmy rolls it. Jake moving into that 1 spot. Oh, Jake rolls it. Here comes Scott Kellum right there working his way through. Oh, gets hung up in the double. Caution, drivers. All right, so we got Mark Collins and Scott Kellum right there racing it out. Scott Kellum making that pass mid-air on Mark Collins. Mark getting through the corner pretty good right there. But Scott Kellum, puts it on his roof once again. Oh, man, we got all kinds of cars on their roofs. All right, so let's see. We got Jake out front, Jimmy in the 2, Kellum in the 3, Collins in the 4, Dustin in the 5, and Chris in the 6 spot. Oh, we got a car off the track right there. But we got Jake holding it down, that green with the black, with a, looks like 4-second lead over Jimmy Smith. We got Scott Kellum working his way around right there, trying to catch up to that lead group right there. So we got Jake, Jimmy, Scott, Mark, and Dustin, and Chris. Oh, Scott Kellum right there getting a little bit frisky. Oh, man, coming up a little bit long right there. All right, your race leader right there, Jake out front. Jimmy in the 2, Kellum in the 3. Kellum 8.7s back from your race leader. Let's see if Kellum can clean it up, make up a little bit of that time lost. Your race leader right there off that front side quad. We need a marshal at the pole. Thank you very much. All right, here comes Scott Kellum. Julio. All right, Jake, Jimmy, Scott Kellum, Mark Collins. All right, Jake right there, keeping it smooth and clean. Keeping it on all 4.
2 minutes left.
All right, Jake, Jimmy, Scott Kellum, Mark Collins, Dustin, and Chris. That's your running order. Need to straighten out that pole. All right, Jake, Jimmy, Scott, Mark, Dustin, and Chris. That's your running order. Oh, whoa. All right, marshals, look ahead. Look ahead, marshals. All right, Jars, with 1 minute left. Jake, Jimmy, Mark, Scott, Dustin, and Chris. That's your running order.
1 minute left. $45 seconds left.
All right, Jimmy, Jake, Mark, and Scott. That's your running order. Dustin in that 5 spot. Chris in the 6 with 35 seconds left, drivers. 35 seconds left. Jake, 18, 5, 10.
30 seconds left.
Scott Kellum moving back in that number 3 spot. Oh, Scott Kellum gets tangled up. He's racing it out right there with Mark Collins.
15 seconds left.
All right, drivers, with 10 seconds left, drivers, 10 seconds left. Your race leader, Jake out front, Jimmy in the 2. Jimmy right there racing it out for the lead right there. Oh, Jimmy rolls it.
Done.
Jake
Dustin
rolls
Green
it.
done. Kellum done.
Jake coming across the line. Jake's done.
round
Mark's
and
done.
master done.
Scott's done. Dustin's
Chris Shaw
done. Chris is done.
All drivers are finished.
Jimmy's done.
Jimmy
All
Two Toes
drivers
done.
done. That is your race
The race is
drivers.
completed.
Jake takes the win. Jimmy in the 2, Mark Collins in the 3. All right, Jake, Jimmy, and Mark in the winner's circle, please.
Race number 4. Operator LED. Amen. Race order is Mark Payne. Chris Shaw. J.R. Xavier McMahon. Julio Abreu. Jimmy Two Toes.
Hey, Melinda, while you're over there, can you straighten out that pole or rail?
2 minutes to the start of the race.
Don't break it. I'm racing it this weekend. I've already had to super glue it. I don't want to super glue it more.
One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. Julio Abreu.
All right, need my marshals from the last race, please. If you're not in this race, that means you're a marshal. All right, Jake, Jimmy.
Mark Pena.
Jimmy's in this race. Is Jimmy in this race? Jimmy's in this race.
30 seconds to the
Mark
start
Collins,
of the race.
Scott Kellum,
J-Lo.
Dustin, and Chris.
You better win, Jordan. Where's he at?
"15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Xavier, Julio, and Jimmy. You guys are up. Waiting on Chris, Xavier, and Jimmy.
Chris Shaw.
Did Xavier leave?
I recorded it because I was marshal.
Did Xavier leave? Xavier left? Larry? Did Xavier leave? Did he leave? He left? All right, I need my marshals. Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio, and Jimmy.
J-Lo. Chris Shaw.
I need my marshals, please. Waiting on Jimmy, Julio, and Mark to check.
Mark Pena. Julio Abreu.
All right, all right. Our final race of the night, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio.
Not gonna win, Jordan. Neither is that. Remember, hey, during this section, don't slow down too much. Keep the momentum going so it doesn't hop around. if you hit the brakes on those rumble strips, you're gonna make the car wobble.
Jimmy Two Toe Smith.
All right, drivers. All right. On pole, it's going to be Mark Pena. Can somebody set Mark up on the pole position, please? In that number 2 spot, Chris Shaw. In the number 3 spot, it's going to be Jordan Lawler. In the number 5 spot, it's going to be Julio. In the number 6 spot, it's going to be Jimmy Smith. All right, drivers. Okay. Okay. All right, drivers. All right, final race of the night. We had one check out right there. So we got Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio, and Jimmy. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready.
The race is starting in less than 5.
All right. Mark with a nice clean start. Jordan with that signature Colin move right there. Hey, Jake. Oh. Hey, Jake, when you go back over there, can you straighten out that rail coming off the wall ride? Yeah, it's supposed to be straight. All right, caution, drivers. Oh. Caution. All right, out front, we got Mark Pena. Julio in the 2, Jordan in the 2 now. Julio in the 3, Chris in the 4. Thank you very much. Jordan, that is not the race line. Straighten that thing back up, Jake. That one off the wall ride.
4 minutes left.
Uh-oh. Mark's sounding a little worse for wear right there. All right. That's not how you make fast laps, Jordan. All right, drivers. All right, Mark, Julio, Jordan, and Jimmy. That's your running order. All right, so we got Mark out front, Chris in the 2, Jordan up to that 3 spot, Julio in the 4, Jimmy in the 5.
Three minutes left.
All right, Mark, Jordan, Chris, Julio, and Jimmy. That's your running order. Oh, Jordan right there. Running the wall ride. That's going to put Chris and Julio, I think, in front now. All right, so we got Mark, Chris, Jordan. Oh, Julio is a lap back. So we got Chris in front of Jordan. Chris right there driving that 14T. All right, where's Jordan? Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't sound good. All right, so we got Mark, Chris, and Jordan.
2 minutes left.
All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio, and Jimmy. That's your running order. Oh, caution, caution, drivers. Caution, caution, caution. All right, drivers, 145 left. Drivers, 145 left. Mark out front. Chris in the 2. Jordan in the 3. All right, Chris keeping it smooth and clean. Jordan in that number 2 spot. All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio, and Jimmy.
One minute left.
You've done it. All right, Mark, Chris, Jordan, Julio, and
45
Jimmy.
seconds left.
All right, Mark's still holding it down. Mark setting that pace. Hot lap 12.8.
30 seconds left.
19.505. Chris on an 18. Jordan on a 17. All right, Jars, with 20 seconds left. Jars, 20 seconds left. Jordan spent a little bit of time on his roof here throughout this race. Oh, Mark gets
15
tangled
seconds
up
left.
right there. All right, drivers, as time is about to expire, drivers, your race will be done as you come across the line. Jordan making the quad that last time around, putting it on his roof off the double. All right, drivers,
Jimmy
time
done.
has expired,
Mark,
drivers.
done.
Mark is done. Jordan's done.
Chris Shaw done.
Chris is done. Jimmy is done. Wait on you, Julio.
All drivers
Jumping
are
across the
finished.
line.
Jimmy to Toe Smith done. The race is completed.
Oh, Julio with the DNF right there. All right, yeah. All right, drivers. Mark Pena taking the win. Chris in the 2. And Jordan in the 3. I need Mark, Chris, and Jordan in the winner's circle, please. Oh, yeah. Hey, Colin.